I don't do unboxings very often, but now seemed like a good time because I was pretty excited about buying tools in another country and see what I got. These were approximately 40 euros. They come, it's the 3/8 set. It starts very small, gets bigger. I noticed this special item, I'm not sure what that is. I think it's using a graphic to show the design that is in all of them. Got a few different spark plugs that you can do, which is a value, and a longer extension, so you can do spark plugs deep in the well, which is why I bought it. This is made by Proxxon. I picked it up at Tomb, and they had some very serious anti-theft in their design. Let me just interrupt this video for a moment and tell you what D.E. Nichols is all about. Very briefly, I promise. I'm D.E. Nichols, and I make videos about how to repair cars, sometimes modifications, sometimes motorcycles. Let's get back to the video. Built on top of those. And now it's all. Now we're getting a direct look without the plastic. They're very serious about the packaging, and you're going to just see how much more serious than what you would expect. Because it's got a metal cover. It's very heavy. Okay, let's take a look inside. And I'm upside down. It's just like a Duralast tool set. You think you open it up, but you gotta open it down. Oh, okay, not quite as bad. At least it has a name. Say, hey, this side is up. Okay. Now we just got inside for the first time. And it's saying that I have to push on the back of it to get it out. That seems helpful. Comes with some instructions. It looks like it's got a guide to different things. All right, so let's follow instructions. Push down right here, and out it comes. I guess you can still lift it up easily, and these aren't held in here. They're just slip to fit. So it's got a metal case, but it's just a plastic on the inside. Now, this has only 58 teeth, if I remember correctly. It's very hard to ratchet, so I think this is going to be one of those tools that when you use it, oh, that feels a lot better. It's just like the Snap-on dealer told me, never test it. Let's see if I can pull it up. You have to push the button. I don't like the button design, but at the same time, some people really like that. It feels really hard to turn like that, right? So I was thinking it might be too rough to use. But now, with the gentlest hold of this hand, and they said something interesting. They said that they had positive lock on every one of those teeth to make these like ultimate strong. And this being a spark plug type design, need some light on the subject. This being a spark plug type design, it has a rubber boot. Now, I very much favor the AutoZone magnetic ones, but I'm willing to give it a try. See if it holds on the spark plug as well there. I've got some in the room for the last spark plugs I changed. But yeah, that is super easy to turn. It's wrong to compare it to Snap-on, just that Snap-on taught don't trust it by finger. Because yeah, I thought it was going to be really stiff, and it's feeling really good, guys and ladies. All right. So the 21, you normally see that as like a 13/16. And then the 16 and 18, I think you actually see as 16 and 18, but maybe one of these is actually more like the 5/8 type spark plug. I'm pretty sure I have these on me, so I'll have to check out how that fits and how that grabs. Now this is interesting. I've seen quite a bit in Germany, how they have this thing on here, okay? So you have this tool that you use like this, but you can also do this. So it's kind of like having an extra item to work with to turn things. I mean, it wouldn't be ratcheted, but if you need something else to hold on to something while the other one worked, you know, that gives you an option. At the same time, it gives you that's got real strong positive lock. At the same time, other than this little bit of space that might be in the way, you can go deep into something. And if that's not quite enough, you'll have this other one to go a little farther. And I usually don't like universal joints. I usually prefer a wobble. So let's see how that feels. You know, it depends. If you after you stress it, is it gonna blow out, no longer feel good? But at least initial quality, it feels like it's gonna be where you put it, which is important for it not to be like this all the time when you're trying to put it onto something, right? So initial impressions are very high there. And looking deep into the wells of these guys, it does seem to be flatter than some designs here, but it's still designed to not be working on the edges instead of using the flat parts of the nut, which is far stronger than the edges, so you're not stripping things. So that feels like it's a good design as well. And what's really unique is that this sucker, let's see if it skips at all. 6, no skipping. I mean, it skips 23, but nobody makes a nut in the shape of 23. Not that I've ever seen. So you can skip 23. But yeah, it's a no skip design. So it's very complete, and yet the price is still competitive. Okay, let's try out this spark plug. Here's a really, around the camera, here's a really worn one from a Jetta that had misfiring coil pack. And I wasn't misfiring enough to cause a misfire, but enough to create hesitation, and the transmission was confused. But our purpose right now is to see how this grabs on to this. And this spark plug is actually quite a bit smaller than the 21, so this is in the 13/16. It's probably more of the 5/8. I'm just used to seeing it in American. And it seems that the grab is really, really good. Though that is the wrong size for this one. So let's try the 18 millimeter and see if that's more what I was expecting. That's also too big for this spark plug, but again, it grabs really, really well onto here using that rubber, and I think this is going to hold up. It feels really tough. And finally, let's try the 16 millimeter and see if that's going to fit on what I think is a standard spark plug. I'm all confused because it's not in American measurements. Okay, yeah, that's the normal fit. And that's going to hold on there, so you're not going to have any troubles getting out of deep wells. No troubles at all. The only trouble you'll have is getting it back off. Jeez. Okay, it'll hold. But it holding too hard now tells me, like, if it fit perfectly now and came off easy, I'd worry the long term as it got easier, it could really become useless. With how tough that is, I suspect it's going to be useful for a long time indeed. Be sure to get out there and work on something. Up here is going to be the most related video. Down here is going to be the video that YouTube thinks you would like best on my channel. And of course, right here you can, yeah, I told you to do it. Poke me in the eye and subscribe. Get out there and work on something.